Today's lesson is the review for your Unit 3 test. Here are some of the questions that you are going to see on your Unit 3 test. Graph the following features. The y-intercept is -4 and the slope is -1/3. Remember, you're going to be using your y equals mx plus b form to help you graph, where you begin at b and b takes the symbol that's in front of it. This time, though, they're just telling you exactly where to put that point. So you're going to go ahead and put that point B right here on the y-axis at -4. Remember, M, your slope, tells you how to move. M, your slope, tells you how to move. Since it is negative, we are going to go 1 down and then 3 to the right. So we're going to go 1 down and then 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. This is where we will place our second point, and then we will go ahead and it will graph them together. Let me go ahead and connect them. Just like so. All right. Another question that you're going to see is, what is the equation of a line that passes through the point x for -8 and has a slope of -3/4? For this one, I would go ahead and use the point slope form. So let me go ahead and get that written for you. We just talked about this one in the last lesson and how to write the equation if given so. So here is our x1 and here is our y1. So we're going to go ahead and plug those numbers in. I'm going to go ahead and plug them in right now. There we go. And of course, here is my slope, which is my m. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in right here. And I'm going to go finish up the rest of my formula. I do have to go ahead and clean this up. I do notice that I have this double negative, which is going to become a +8 at the beginning. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave the rest as it is. You should be able to leave your answer just like this in Delta Math. But if not, in future examples in this video, I will show you how to put it in y equals mx plus b. What is the slope of a line that passes through the points 2, 8 and -3/4? Write your answer in simplest form. This right here means that you must, what's going on? Hold on a sec. Simplest form right here simply means that you must reduce any fraction or whole number that you have. All right, our formula, remember, for the slope is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, when I have an ordered pair, my first values are my x1s, and it is customary to call the first x, x1, and the second x, x2. The second numbers in my ordered pair are the y values. Y1 goes with x1, and y2 goes with x2. So I'm going to have 14 minus 8 on the top. And then on the bottom, I'm going to have -3 minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and subtract those over -5. That is simplified. However, I would put it as negative and then the fraction 6/5. That would be how I would write that into Delta Math. Put the following equation of a line in slope-intercept form, simplifying all fractions. Slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b. And remember, this sign goes with the B, but we're not graphing, so it's okay to not have that. All right, so we've got to get the Y value by itself. That is our goal. I'm going to go ahead and make it a different color just to kind of help me out. I want to get Y by itself. Let me go ahead and do that. First, I'm going to go ahead and move the X to the other side. That would always be my first step when I am in standard form to get into slope intercept form. Move the X to the other side. It's a positive, so I subtracted. I would do the opposite. If it was negative, I would add. I did not get rid of the negative that's with the Y, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that as negative 5x. And I'm going to go ahead and put negative 6x first minus 5 because I do want it in that mx plus b formula. Okay, no, I cannot put them together and subtract and say negative 11 because the 6 has an x, but the 5 does not. So I cannot say that it's negative 11. After I've moved the x to the other side, if there is a number in front of my y value, I divide. I always divide, never add, never subtract, none of that. Everybody gets divided by the number in front of y, and now we have our form. Y is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 5 would be positive 6 over 5, and the x would come out next to it to show that the 6/5 is my slope. And then once again, minus 5 divided by minus 5 would be positive 1 to show that my slope is at positive 1. Write the equation of the line in fully simplified slope-intercept form. So once again, y equals mx plus b. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find b, your beginning. This is pretty standard. B is your y-intercept. There it is right there. It is at positive 2. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to find your slope. You're going to find your slope by doing the rise over the run. Now you can start at the y-intercept and you can go up, and then you can go to the left or to the right, depending on where the next point is. I'm going to use this as my next point right here. So I would go up, and then I would go to the right. So let's see. I would go up 2, and then 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I'm going to go 2 over 3. I'm going to simplify that. It is simplified, so let's go ahead and write the equation. Y equals 2/3 x plus 2. There we go. What is an equation of a line that passes through the points negative 2, 7 and negative 8, 4? Let's go ahead and first find the slope. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the slope formula. Remember, we want to go ahead and find our x's. Customary to call the first one 1 and the second one 2. These go on the bottom of my slope formula. So let me go ahead and put them. Remember, x2 goes first and x1 goes second. I'm going to go ahead and label my y's now, y1 and y2. I am going to go ahead and put y2 first and then y1 second. I'm going to go ahead now and simplify that. That would give me a negative 3 on the top, changing to a, this would change to a plus, giving me negative 6 on the bottom. When I simplify negative 3 divided by negative 6, I get 1/2 for my slope. I would go ahead, and since I was given 2 points, I would use the point slope formula, which is this one right here. Let me go ahead and set it up because it is the simplest and easiest way to get us into an equation. This one does not say how to write it. So we should be able to leave it just as is. The only thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come back in and we're going to have to clean up that double negative to a positive. We should be able to leave our formula just like this, but if we are not, you would want to go ahead and distribute the 1/2 and then move the 7 over to the other side, and that would put it in y equals mx plus b. So let me go ahead and show you that. So the first thing I did was I distributed and multiplied 1/2 to x and 1/2 to 2. Half of 2 is, of course, 1. And then, of course, I went ahead and moved the 7 to the other side by doing its opposite. And that would give me my y equals mx plus b answer. Only if Delta Math asks for it. Find the x and y intercepts of the graph 3x plus 4y equals 18. State each answer as an integer or an improper fraction in simplest form. Remember, this is standard form. Come on. Hold on, my pencil doesn't want to write. Uh-oh. Oh no. My pencil doesn't want to write. Okay, give me just a sec, guys. Let me go ahead and delete that, and let's see if that'll come back now. No. We're almost done. No. All right. This is in standard form right here. So the first thing you need to do is you need to recognize what form you're in. And it should be in standard form. Remember, when you're in standard form, to find your x-intercept, this means that your y value is 0. So remember, you have some x number, comma 0, right? This is how it works. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in for y 0 into the equation. So 4 times 0, and this will give us our x-intercept. 4 times 0 is 0, which gives us 3x is equal to 18. We simply divide by 3, and this would give us our x-intercept. Now, depending on how Delta Math asks, it might just simply ask you for x is equal to 6, or you could give it as the ordered pair 6, comma 0, right? Or you could give it like that. To do the y-intercept, oh, don't tell me it did it again. All right, to do our y-intercept, this time, remember, it's 0, comma, the number y, whatever number y is. So this time, we're going to plug in y, or 0, for our x value. So let's go ahead and do that. Perfect. Remember, 3 times 0 is simply 0, so it would eliminate the x value. To solve for y, we're going to go ahead and divide by 4. That doesn't divide nicely. Let's see. 9 over 2, or 4.5. And so if you were to give it as an ordered pair, you would probably give it as thus, or you could use the fraction. All right, our final example for today is if x and y vary directly and y is 18 when x is 6, find y when x is 4. Now, what you can do for this one is you can simply set up what is called a proportion. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the y on top and the x on the bottom. Because remember, when we talk about varying directly, we talk about this fraction y over x. So I'm going to put the y value that they first gave me on top, which is 18, when x is 6. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, y on top, x on the bottom, and then they're going to give me the other one. So they're going to say when x is 4, that's going to go on the bottom, and I'm solving for y. I'm just going to cross multiply, which means I'm going to multiply 6 times y, and I'm going to multiply 18 times 4. Let me go ahead and grab a calculator, which I don't seem to have one right here. So let me go ahead and go into Desmos really quick. 18 times 4 is 72. There we go. And then I, of course, am just going to divide by 6. I think that's 9, but let me pull my calculator back up. There we go. Let's go ahead and do 72 divided by, oops, no, 6. 12. See, I'm glad I did that because I was thinking 9. And that would be my final answer. Good luck.